Here.
Council President Miracle, absent. Mr. Schwartz.
Present.
Mr. Shepherd.
Here.
Ms. Longenecker.
Here.
Mr. Jarvis.
Here.
Ms. Hanrahan, here. We're here for purposes of approval of debt refunding. The information was emailed. I don't know if there was any questions anyone had about the refunding.
Just a general question is is it just refinancing? Just a lower rate? And how far are we kicking it down the road?
It's not, it's actually shorter term.
It's the same thing, okay, so 2045-ish?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we just refinanced and it's the same debt and we're just, yeah, okay. Just because we can and we'll save money.
Just want to save money.
Okay, great.
Called this, there's a lot of, there's benefits to it, absolute benefits to it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just didn't know what was new and what was existing.
I think it's fantastic we can still refund and get good rates.
Absolutely.
With the inflation and everything. It's crazy economy.
My rates, I renew my line every 2 or 3 months.
Do you?
Used to be every 6 months, then went from 1.1, now it's Japanese bank, so it's
Okay.
dirt cheap.
Okay.
Dirt cheap. 1.1 to 1.75 to 2.5 within 6 months. So, and the next one will be over 3, and same thing with loans, so it's moving very quickly.
I know Mr. Woodside had said that there was such a small window there to be able to still get that rate, so fortunately we were all able to meet.
Good.
So I would look for a motion to approve.
Move.
Mr. Shepherd moves.
I'll second.
Mr. Schwartz seconds. Okay, Mayor Schneider.
Yes.
Miracle. Mr. Schwartz.
Yes.
Mr. Shepherd.
Yes.
Ms. Longenecker.
Yes.
Mr. Jarvis.
Yes.
Ms. Hanrahan. Yes. I would then look for a motion to adjourn.
Move.
Mr. Schwartz moves. Do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Jarvis.
Quick.
Yep. Okay.
So what was all
On the
the
voice
collateral,
Because we had to formally meet.
no, what was all the, maybe I was reading some other
Oh,
documents.
the other information.
Yeah.
Yeah, there isn't a loan agreement that we have right now, and there is question as to whether we have to approve it. The other email, I believe everyone was CC'd on, had to do, the water fund was not what brought the city into fiscal emergency. And what has happened is the EPA has found violations, and the city has been working with the Ohio EPA on this. And the resulting agreement is basically if you fix these things, and I don't remember exactly what they are, if you fix these things, we will not fine you for violation and any of the other penalties and interest, what have you. So the city agreed to it, but in order for them to do that, they have to get a loan, which is through Ohio EPA, but it's actually an Ohio Water Development Authority loan. So it's an odd thing in that there is interest on this loan. Very low, very minimal, but the interest they pay is nothing in comparison to the penalties they would incur if they didn't agree to this resolution.
Okay.
So.
And all of this is independent of our purpose for gathering this morning?
It is. It is all boiled down right now to just the debt refunding.
Okay.
And what I think is, what I know that in the future, the Attorney General, the Ohio Attorney General person who is assigned to this commission is going to take a deeper dive into the chapter. Mr. Woodside, I had told some of the folks that had come earlier, Mr. Woodside, bond counsel for the city, had found a section in the code, 11801, which is a definition section that basically defined debt obligations with the exception of those issued under Article 8, I forget which section it is, 13 maybe. And what that section is, basically, is debt issued for economic development. Well, that's what kind of debt cities issue, you know? But the thinking also was, and rightfully, is that the chapter is rife with sections of code that pertain to debt obligations. So given that one section was excluding that debt, why then was other sections written about debt obligations? So the AAG is going to take a deeper dive on that. And really, for purposes of being chairing these commissions for as long as I have, this has never really come up before. This is a nuance that I don't think we ever realized was in existence, because we have approved debt obligations before. Not that many, because for the majority of the local governments that go into fiscal emergency don't have the wherewithal or their capacity to issue debt, so this doesn't come up. The only reason it may, and we've not done these in years, is issue local government debt, which basically is saying, we'll give you money up front, but to pay it back, we're going to take the debt payment out of what you would get in local government funding. So we get a guaranteed stream of money for the payment of the debt. The city, whatever, gets the, first of all, the ability to issue debt, because some of them didn't, and they also get the money up front. So if there is an urgent need and they have a cash crunch, this gives them the cash. It isn't, in the previous years, it has not been the best avenue to go to, because local government funding was cut. So you've got less coming in, and then you're going to have even less coming to you, because some of it's going to go out to pay the debt on the local government. It doesn't, I mean, there might be, I can't really say at this point if there is an instance where it makes sense nowadays.
Okay,
I
well,
think in
thanks.
the past there may have been, but, so that might be what our AAG finds, is that debt obligation was, all the sections in code according to debt obligations was meant for local government debt. I tend to think not, because there's also language in there about notes, and we wouldn't issue a note on a local government debt, we would just issue the debt,
Great.
the bond. So, I don't know, more to come, but it's certainly, I understand why Mr. Woodside said what he did. I also understand the AAG's position, and I think that there's just going to be further discussion on this between the two lawyers, two attorneys, and maybe not so much on Mr. Woodside's, because for his purposes, we got to go ahead. They're going to go and get the refunding in the better rate. He just wanted to make sure things went in order and on time, so that they can do what they need to do, I think by July 6th. And the
Good.
holiday certainly gets in the way too at the time, so.
Good, thank you.
But yes, and so we still have, I think that is, there was another issue, I think, in pertaining to the tax certificate, I think, and it was because what had been placed on the certificate, I'm probably referring to the wrong document, had an estimate of the money coming into the water fund, and given what appropriations had been approved in the budget, they would not have had enough money in the water fund in order to pay this loan. so the city auditor went back and reduced the appropriations so that it would fit within the revenues and the expenditures going out. He had said that in his review, the city would likely not spend all of those appropriations. Now, as far as what the city council's gonna do, they're gonna have to, obviously, the loan's gonna go before them and so forth. So I would just say that because there were so many unknowns, it was kind of, it seemed like there were more balls in the air to juggle than ended up being. So again, just, you know, if we know, the sooner we know these things, the better off we all are, so. But anyway, so.
Thanks.
Sure, Mr. Schwartz moved, Mr. Jarvis second, and a voice vote, all in favor of adjourning, aye?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, hearing none, this meeting is adjourned.
Thank you.
Thank you.